Hello and welcome to the Best Today podcast. I'm Shantae Grant and I am so excited to talk with you today. Today is episode 61, which is the first Monday in the month of May. If you did not know, here on the podcast, this is something we recently started doing after hearing your feedback at the end of our 2021 survey. The first episode of every month, I intentionally keep short to offer you shorter bite-sized episodes that get you to think and reflect. So these first of the month episodes not only are shorter, but my intention is to give you something to take with you to begin thinking about, which every episode does that. Every episode gives you something to go back and think about, but that's the intention of these shorter episodes. So today I want to talk to you about something that I say in every single episode at the end, and I want to dig into it a little bit more and tell you what I mean by it and how I really want you to really take those words in and let them take root in your life, in your mind. So I end every episode and I say, you have everything you need to have everything you want, right? I say that at the end of every episode of the podcast. And let's talk about what I mean by that, right? So what I mean when I say that you have everything that you need to have everything that you want, that is not me failing to acknowledge the challenges, the biases, the structure, the systemic, I don't even know what the word is, awfulness that exists in the world that we live in. The statement isn't the world is laid out for you to get everything you want with ease. It's you have everything you need to have everything that you want. And what I mean is the dream, that you have, that thing that you want in your life, the personal qualities that you want to develop in your own person and improve upon, the person you want to become. You today, right now, listening to me, even if you feel like you are on the complete opposite end of the spectrum to where you want to be, to who you want to be, you right now listening to these words that are coming out of my mouth have everything you need to get to that place that you desire and to become the person that you desire. I think about this. Here's an illustration. I'm a visual learner, and so I love using analogies when I'm teaching, and I love hearing them when I'm learning. And so I think of LeBron James. He is a basketball player, and he is 6'9", right? I think about the fact that the 6'9" LeBron James who exists today, that 6'9" grown man was already inside of the infant size of LeBron James. Like he was going to become this 6'9" person. And the 6'9" LeBron James was already inside of him when he was the size of a blueberry. And that to me just blows my mind. Like that was already there from the start. It just takes cultivation. And we're going to get to that in a second, but to get to that in time, right? And time got him from the size of a blueberry to 6'9", right? And I think about a tree or a plant or a flower. All that it can become is already in the seed. The seed just needs the proper environment. It needs tending and it needs nutrients, but everything that it needs to blossom into that is literally inside of it. The components that it needs to become that flower, to become that plant, to grow into that tree is already there in that seed, which is amazing, right? And so right now, as you have what you need to take the next step, even if the next step is just asking for help, right? You are more capable than you think. You have more control than you give yourself credit for, and you have what it takes. Your desire to be a person who lives an intentional life, because you're listening to this podcast, that's who I'm talking to, right? Your desire to live a life of intention is what is going to actually make it happen for you. My desire to start a company that had real impact in this world and really helped women to transform how they plan and live out their days. The reason that I now have that is because I had the desire, and the ability to do this was already within me. I just needed to take the next step. I needed to place myself in the proper environment and make sure I had the proper tending and nutrients, learning and unlearning. So the desire that you have is what's going to help make it actually happen for you. the desire is what's going to move you to take the next step and then the next step, right? So where are the places where you haven't recognized all that you already have and what you can do with that? Where are those places where you've convinced yourself that the odds are stacked against you? It's not going to happen. It's too hard. I can't do this. I'm just insert the word you'll describe yourself, the prison you put yourself in, procrastinator, not type A, which I don't know what that means. So what? I'm not a this or I'm not a that. Okay, but who are you? Where are those places where you've talked yourself out of your dreams? Where you've created the prison and locked the door and thrown away the key, and no one else, because you are the one who are in control. You have more control than you think. And above anything, I always say you always have control over the you bring into the room, the you bring into the situation, the you that meets your challenges, the you that meets discrimination, the you that meets systemic oppression, the you that meets hurdles, the you that meets bias. You are in control of the person who meets that. What are you now going to do with that? What are you going to do to overcome, to rise against, to push back, to remove? What are you going to do to take the next step? Stop pointing outward. What are you going to do? Because you already have everything you need to have everything that you want. And this was another example that really made me say, I'm going to do a podcast episode about this. A few weeks ago, I was in a strength class with Jess Sims, who I consider my personal strength coach. I take all of Jess's classes. If Jess is teaching it, I'm taking it. And we were doing a move where I usually will do heavier weights. And so we did that first move. And as I knew we were preparing to move to the second, move, I was going to drop those 20s and pick up 15s. And she says, don't drop your heavy weights. Keep them in your hands for this next move. And I'm like, Jess, how you see me bending down about to drop these weights? But I had the heavies in my hand and I did it. And I did it with strength. And I did it. I was able to do it. I already had in me what it took to do that second move with 20 pounds in my hands, even though I had always done it with 15 or done it with 15. And that's what my intention was. But I already had what I needed. I just needed someone, that environment, right? The tending to challenge me and make it an option for me. Sometimes we just need someone to let us know that this is an option for you. It's an option to keep those heavy weights in your hands and show yourself how strong you are, how strong you've become, to show you can actually handle these 20s, to show you that you don't have to always downsize, that you're stronger than you think. It was already in me. Jess didn't pick up the 20s for me and do the move. Jess didn't come and say, I'm going to come and hold them for you to make it a little easier. She just challenged me and gave me an option. Keep the heavies in your hand. And I did. And I learned something about myself in that moment. And I've talked about it so much since that, because it was just a beautiful example of I already had it in me. I just needed to put myself in the place to be challenged to do it and to be make it an option. And that's what we do here at Best Today. We want you to know that you have the option of a life of peace, a life of intention, of having a healthy relationship with time, of prioritizing your mental, emotional, physical well-being every single day, of doing things differently than the world or social media portrays. We want to mirror that for you and give you the tools to take the next step. We want you to know that it's an option that is available to you. Right? I'm being just telling you, keep the heavies in your hand, right? That is what we exist to do, to give you that option, but not just to give you an option, but then show you how. We mirror it in what we do and what we teach. And this is why I show up. I want to mirror that for you and give you the tools to take the next step. And with that, you transform your life. You become healthier. You live a life of intention. You transform how you plan and live out your days. You choose not to live like a machine. You stop comparing yourself and instead learn to love yourself as you are, while seeking the tools to work on what needs mending and healing. It's you. You have what you need. We just want to offer you the environment, like we created the Best Today community, our isolated, beautiful, safe space on the interwebs that's not connected to social media and these platforms that are made to make you shorten your attention span and hate yourself and be judgmental. Like, why would I want to build a loving, health? You can't grow flowers in dirt and what is it? Well, in my head, I see the place, the place where they take all the garbage, right? You're not going to catch flowers growing out of the garbage. So why would we build an environment that we want to see people grow in a place, in a wasteland? Right? We create that environment for you because we understand the importance of nurturing. This we talked about in last week's episode. If you haven't listened to episode 60, the importance and the vital role community plays being in a safe space that allows you to grow, right? We offer you the environment through the community, the tending and the nourishment through our products and our resources, including this podcast that you're listening to right now, all so that you grow all that's already within you right now, because you have everything you need to have everything you want already inside you. At Best Today, we exist to help women just like you be your best one today at a time. So each week on the podcast, we are going to highlight your stories and your voices. So let's see what's in the inbox today. This week, we've got 2 messages from members of the Best Today community, Stephanie and Tanya. Stephanie says, I love that this group is so supportive while still a source of accountability. I learned so much from Shante, but now I also learn from other women who are navigating this path. And Tanya writes, this group is amazing. It's so positive, and seeing everyone's wins is so motivating. Helping each other out through the big and the little things is so amazing to see. Thank you so much, Stephanie and Tanya, for sharing why you love being a part of the Best Today community. Again, if you are not a part of this amazing community that we have built in a safe space away from the trash dumpster fire of the internet, please join us today by going to besttodaycommunity.com. Remember that your first month in the community is free with every order or your order of the Best Today Guide, the Best Today Starter Bundle, or the Best Today Online Program Bundle. Your first month is free in the community. So if you want to get one of those products, if you already had your eye on them, then come on, place your order, and you're going to receive an email giving you that unique link to get you into the community. Otherwise, you can go to besttodaycommunity.com and join us right now. We look forward to seeing you inside because it's you that make the community so special, so safe, and really so effective for all of the women involved. So go to besttodaycommunity.com, and as always, you can find all of our resources at besttodayguide.com. In episode 17 and 18 of the podcast, which we'll link in today's show notes at besttodayguide.com/61, I talked about the negativity bias, right? And how it will have you remembering all the things that are negative. Like our brains are wired to remind us more of the bad than the good, right? This is why in news media knows that. That's why we see far more negative than positive. But it keeps bringing to your remembrance the things that you've done that didn't go the way you wanted, or when you may have been hurt, or when there was, when you were away you no longer wanted to be or want to be. I want this to be a reminder that there's a lot of good in you. Let's amplify that. I want this to be a reminder of the good that is within you right now as you're listening to this podcast, and the fact that you can be the person you want to be and you can live the life you desire. You just have to decide what that is, right? What is it, the life that you desire? And of course, I talk about this so much. The foundational question is, who are you and what do you want? Working through that. And that's a question in some ways that stays the exact same for me and then continues to evolve. There's the core things that are unchanging, and then what that looks like lived out that does. But getting clear on that is really important. So my question that I'm leaving with you today is, what will you do today now that you know that you have everything you need to have everything you want? Will you live like you believe that? Will you think like you believe that? Will you act like this is a true statement? Maybe write it down and start living it out with confidence, even on the days where everything looks contrary. Because friend, you are not alone in that. I have them too. I have those moments, more so moments than days, but I have the days as well. Sometimes the weeks where it's like, do I? Yes, I do. Right? We all experience that. That's a part of the human experience, but that's also why I have to continue to pump out this truth in your ears, in your mind, so that you can remember that when that contrary voice pops up, right? Choose to keep going anyway, knowing that you have everything you need to have everything you want, one today at a time. And that we here at Best Today, myself, the team, we are here to help you blossom and grow every step of the way by creating that environment and that nourishment through the podcast, through our community, through our products online, everything which can be found at besttodayguide.com. So that is my message for you. I want you to now go and run with that and ask yourself, where are those places where you have let yourself forget that you already have everything you need to have everything you want? It's just, are you cultivating it? Are you making decisions and choices that are creating that environment that you need, that are giving you the nourishment? Are you feeding the wrong thing? What is it that you see growing that you don't want growing in your life? And how can we hard pivot right now? Okay, that's what I have for you this week on the Best Today podcast. If you are not in the Best Today community, first make sure you go back and listen to episode 60, which we'll link again in the show notes. We talked about, and even you got to hear from some members of our actively engaged community. It is the number one place to be if you are on the journey of living a life of intention, prioritizing yourself, your health, your well-being every single day. Inside of the community, you're going to find encouragement, support, live calls, co-working hours, guided journal prompts, and the curriculum I created to help you get clear on who you are and what you want. All of this is available in our private community that you can access online or on our app for Android and Apple devices. So join us today by going to besttodaycommunity.com. And remember that your first month is always free with your order of the Best Today Guide, the Best Today Starter Bundle, or the Best Today Online Program Bundle. All right, friends, thank you so much for being present with me for this week's episode of the Best Today podcast. Until next time, you know what I'm going to say. Remember that you are capable and you are worthy of being your best one today at a time. And you already have everything you need to have everything you want. So go on and shout it out as you live it out. This is what my best today looks like. I'll talk to you again real soon on the next episode. Bye for now. If you enjoyed this week's episode of the Best Today podcast, you are going to love the Best Today Guide. Our Better Than a Planner guide teaches you how to get clear on what you want, identify your self-destructive habits and behaviors, and intentionally create space to prioritize yourself every single day. Don't go the journey to being your best one today at a time without the Best Today Guide. See inside its pages and order yours today at besttodayguide.com. Even better, when you order the Best Today Guide, we gift you with your first month free inside of the Best Today membership. So what are you waiting for? We're giving you everything you need to trade busy for intention. Go to besttodayguide.com and order yours today and join thousands of women across the globe proclaiming each day, this is what my best today looks like.